right, so we highlighted the right triangle inside the isosceles triangle, and now we're going to substitute our stuff. The hypotenuse is the side across from the right angle. It's also the longest side of a right triangle. So we have 11 squared plus x squared equals 24 squared. 121 plus x squared equals 576. And we'll subtract. The square root of 455 will be the final answer. So we want to take the square root to reverse the squared. So x equals, and as a decimal, it would be 21.3 approximately. We should probably put the squiggly equals. Or we could do simplest radical form. That's divisible by 5, I can tell, because the last digit is 5. And I knew that 91 was divisible by 7 just because I knew that, but you may not always know that. These are the prime factors, and each of them does not have a partner like they did up here. We had 2 2s and then another 2 2s. Here we don't have any repeats. So the actual exact answer is the square root of 455. Both of those are correct. All right, and then this last one is not an isosceles triangle. So this height does not break the base into 2 congruent pieces. But we do have 2 right triangles in this picture. This one and this one. And we know 2 sides of each of those right triangles. By the way, we know this is right because they're a linear pair that adds up to 180, so that other half has to be. So if I'm focusing on the yellow triangle, I can figure out from here to here this distance using the Pythagorean theorem. And then later I can add to that little piece down there. So for the yellow triangle, the hypotenuse is 29. And we want to add 12 squared plus x squared equals 29 squared. Or we could call it something else if you don't want to think of it. For me, it works okay this way. But if you want to rename that bottom piece, that would work too. All right, so go ahead and solve that. I'm going to solve it without walking through the steps so you can practice. That's the decimal approximation, 26.4. And we could try to factor it, but I'm just going to kind of leave it as the decimal this time, 26.4. And that goes this part here. Now we need to figure out this part of the orange triangle. 14 is the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So we'll have 12 squared plus x squared for this piece right here equals 14 squared. I'm skipping ahead. All right, I'm prime factoring this one just for fun. So there's 2 2's, so that's going to be 2 root 13. And both of those answers are acceptable. So this is when you're given a picture and you have to kind of look through it like a puzzle and find the things that you can use. Remember, there's nothing in these angles besides the 90-degree angle telling us that this is a right triangle. Other than that, no angles are involved, just sides. Okay, we're going to do a couple word problems of this. All right, so just to show you how to draw these and get a whole handle on how it works, D. Find the length of a rectangle that has a diagonal of 25 feet and a width of 15. So we want to draw a rectangle. It says the diagonal across here is 25 feet. And the width, which we can go either way, I'm going to put it here, of 15 feet. And we want to know how long it is. So while this is a rectangle, we can see that there's really two triangles here. And they have to be right triangles because the angles in a rectangle are all 90 degrees. So this could be a swimming pool, it could be a soccer field, it could be anything else in a word problem. They just like to make word problems out of this. So in your head, think about what number we could be using as the hypotenuse in this one. Which one is C? Hopefully you'd said 25 because that's across from the right angle. So we'll have 15 squared plus x squared equals 25 squared. Go ahead and solve that. You don't need me for that. So the length of this rectangle is 20. All right, I'm going to draw the picture for the next one, and then I would like you to pause the video and set up the equation, check yourself, pause again, and then do the problem to check. All right, so here we have a wall, and there's a 20-foot ladder leaning against the wall. And you actually have to be careful in this kind of a problem because it says the ladder is 20 feet. So that's from here to here. This part is 20 feet. The base of the ladder, so the bottom, base means bottom, of the ladder is 8 feet from the wall. And we want to know how high up the wall this reaches. We assume that the floor is actually perpendicular to the wall, so we're going to put a 90-degree angle right there. All right, so go ahead and pause, set up your equation, unpause, and check it. All right, hopefully you're having a little party for yourself because you got the hypotenuse right and all that good stuff. And now pause again, solve it, and check your answer. All right, so I did the decimal equivalent, which is 18.3, but I wanted to do simplest radical form also. So I have 2 2's that are orange that match, 2 2's that are yellow that match, and then our leftovers were the 3 and the 7. So 4 root 21